Hi.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to our Discover Arbonne call. I'm so excited to be doing this with one of my best friends in the business, Alexandra, National Vice President with Arbonne. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Leah Borsellino, and I'm a Regional Vice President with Arbonne. Before we begin, we're going to each tell you a little bit about our stories and our journeys with this incredible business. So my journey with Arbonne actually started a bit over 6 years ago now. I've been doing Arbonne from the age of 20 years old. Today I'm 26. So I actually started as a full-time student. I was about to start for my bachelor's degree in marketing at John Molson in Montreal, here in Montreal. And I was always looking to be my own boss. That was really kind of what attracted me to this business from the very start, was that from the very young age, I always wanted to be my own boss. I always wanted my own business. So for me, that was something that I was always open-minded to. When Arbonne was introduced to me, it seemed like the match made in heaven. Unlike most people kind of the first time they're introduced to this business are a little bit skeptical. I was really the opposite. And I know Alex was very skeptical at the beginning, but I wasn't one of those people. I felt like I had found my calling. I knew from the very young age of literally 12 that I wanted to be one day be my own boss. So when I found this opportunity that told me that I didn't have to quit school, I didn't have to quit my summer job, I didn't have to stop anything I was doing, and yet I could add an extra income and I could start my own business while living life the way I normally would, to me, that just felt like a match made in heaven. So when I found out about this opportunity by Executive Regional Vice President Marissa Braya, I jumped in with 2 feet. I knew that this could be my future. This could be my way. You know, I always tell people, I didn't grow up thinking I wanted to be an Arbonne independent consultant. I know Alex didn't either, but I always had dreams, and I knew that one day I wanted to own my life. I knew that one day I wanted to be a stay-at-home mom. I knew that I wanted to impact the world and help other people. And I just learned that Arbonne was going to be the vehicle to bring me to that life. So no, I never thought I would do something like this. And yet when this opportunity was introduced to me, I knew right away that this was the vehicle to bring me from where I was to the life that I always wanted for myself. And that's why I jumped in right away. So if you're on this call and, you know, either you're a student or you're very busy, you have a full-time job, whatever it is, whatever is going on in your life right now, this could be it for you. This could be your way to bring you to that dream life that you've always wanted. And, you know, sometimes when we ask adults what they want to be when they grow up, or not what they grow up, but what they want to do in the future, it's kind of like they don't know, because they just, you know, some people just want like a lazy Sunday to put their feet up and relax, and that's all that they could wish for. But why not wish for more? Guys, don't settle for anything less than you could have ever imagined for yourself. That's what the beauty of this business is. We need to dream bigger than ever before. And Arbonne has changed so many people's lives. So why not change yours? And that's kind of how I saw it when I joined. So just to give you a little bit of my situation at that time, I was 20 years old. Most people in Arbonne were not 20 years old. There was a lot of mothers that were doing Arbonne. There was a lot of, you know, people who had jobs. There was no students. Alex and I think were the youngest at that point that I had seen, at least. And I knew that, you know what, age is just a number. I knew that it didn't matter that everyone else was, you know, in a completely different life than I was living, but I knew that my future, Arbonne could bring me to where I wanted to go. So I jumped in. Within a year and a half, I promoted to the regional vice president level. At that point, I was the youngest one in Canada, in Arbonne, Canada. Today, this business is booming with millennials and Gen Ys who are just craving this kind of lifestyle. And, you know, that's what's so amazing about this, is that today, millennials, they're in school, they're studying, they're told, you know, we got to work hard, we got to study hard to have that job, that's the 9-to-5 job, to that handcuff, that golden handcuff that we always talk about. And yet what they all want is freedom. They all want to work from their cell phones. They all want to have a global business. They all want to be able to live a healthy lifestyle. They all want to buy great products that are good for their skin and good for their body. They all want to be able to do whatever they want when they want, and yet they all want to be successful, and they're all willing to work hard to get there. And that's what I love is today, you know, our generation, Alex and mine, and even younger, the millennials, are looking for this. So we have what everyone is looking for. And I'm so happy I said yes 6 years ago. And I'm so happy that Alex and I paved the way for this generation, because today, so many 20-year-olds are at the top of this company and earning an income that most people could only dream about. And I always say, I built this business while I was in school. if I can do it, so can you. Because I was very busy. I had school full time. I had a full-time job in the summer. My mom was ill and I was taking care of her. I had a social life, a very big social life. I still do. And yet I fit Arbonne in to the nooks and crannies of that very busy lifestyle because I knew that one day this would be worth my while. And today I can say that it totally is. I'm 26 years old. I work from home. I wake up when I want. I do what I want. And I think that's so priceless. And yet I've helped people, and I'm always consistently looking for people to help and change their lives too. To me, that's priceless because that's what this business is all about. It's about helping others and about locking arms with business partners and really changing the world. I know for some people, it sounds like, oh my God, this is too good to be true, but it's not. And I think we're the evidence of that. And that's why Alex and I love to lock arms and do these calls together, because we want to inspire other people to show people that there's nothing special about us. Like, obviously, I mean, we're pretty cool, but there's nothing special about us. We are ordinary people, and yet we're living extraordinary lives thanks to Arbonne, and so can you. So if you're here today, that's what we're going to talk about. I'm going to let Alex say a little bit about her story. I didn't go into too much detail because obviously I could talk for days, but I'll let Alex go ahead with that.
Oh, I love this. I love listening to you, Leah. I could listen to you all day. One of the best things about this business is definitely the friendships that we make. And I couldn't even imagine my life without you, Leah. So I'm so grateful you're in my life. And as she was talking and sharing her story and saying how she started when she was 20 years old in school, I had actually started my Arbonne business right after graduating. I had just started my new career. I was 24 years old. I had graduated from fashion school, and I thought I was all that in a bag of chips because I had found that career in that field that I had studied in. I had studied to be in fashion, and I ended up getting my job in fashion, and I was working a 9 to 5, and I thought, wow, this is it, right? You find that job that you want to work, and you work until you basically croak. And so when I first heard about Arbonne, I was definitely zero interested. And the reason for it was because I remembered my mom buying from Avon when I was a kid. And I remembered showing up to pick up my mom's order, and the woman would have like boxes and boxes of product in her house. And when I first heard about Arbonne, that's all I could imagine. I could just imagine somebody proposing to me that I was going to be that sales lady. And it was like, sales lady with boxes in my condo, or awesome. So I thought, fashion career. Why not? I'm going to do that, right? I'm going to do a fashion career. So that's really why I said no in the beginning, because I didn't understand the power behind a business like this. I didn't understand how network marketing was going to be very quickly turning into the fastest growing industry in the world, health and wellness being the #1 health growing industry in the world. So to me, I didn't know those statistics. I just thought, you know what? I found what I had to get it to. And I thought that it was all that. So I finally, after my sister being so incredibly persistent with asking me to take a look at the business, I finally went to a business meeting. And I went to that business meeting and I thought to myself, wow, okay, I might wait for a long time to get that big raise from my boss to get me out of my debts that I had accumulated, my expenses that were always too expensive because I was earning a very, very low salary. I was working up that corporate ladder. So I thought to myself, hey, I'm going to say yes to Arbonne for that extra $500 a month. And that's literally why I started. I heard the woman in front of ENBP, Milva Kennedy, speaking, and she said she was earning over $200,000 a year. She was driving a white Mercedes. She had retired from her full-time job. And I thought, well, that's good for you. And you're clearly lucky. And I think that's really the persona that we think that people are lucky when they're successful. But what I've learned in the last 7 years of building this business is that you know what? Success has nothing to do with luck. It has everything to do with passion, hard at work, and putting love and pouring into whatever you're doing. And when you do that, so I honestly say every single day that I went from fashion to passion, because today I am more passionate about what I do in Arbonne than I could have ever been in fashion, because what I do really matters. I remember sitting at my desk when I was working in fashion and wondering, well, whose life am I really impacting? And this week we got our paychecks in. I can tell you guys, I have people in my organization earning over $10,000 a month. To me, that's life-changing. I have people in my organization calling me up and saying, hey, thank you very much. Now I earn $500 extra a month because of Arbonne. I get to pay off my debts. I'm now earning more money part-time in my Arbonne business than I do full-time. Soon enough, I think I'm going to say to my boss that I don't need that job anymore. So to me, this business gives so many different ways of living that life that you ever desired. So it's not about being passionate about necessarily network marketing Arbonne, but it's about this being the vehicle to whatever you want to create. I've been at home now for the last 4.5 years. I quit my job. I now am a mom of a beautiful 4-year-old Sydney, and I might be thinking of expanding my family. And you know what? The beautiful part about that is the fact that there's no financial question about it, because when you grow that kind of income and we have unlimited potential, I get to decide what I want to do with my life. And I actually just recently decided to become a yoga instructor just for the heck of it, because I was passionate about it. And I thought, hey, you know what? I got some free time on my hands. Why not? So this is the kind of thing that this business can give you. It can give you the time to discover some new passions. So it's not a new business. So we're going to dive right in here. It's not a new business. It has been existing for well over 38 years. We're going on our 39th year. And it's really a very important foundation that this business has been founded with family ethics. So we do carry ourselves like a family. And the founder of our company, his name was Peter Mork. He wanted to create products that were pure, safe, and beneficial, of course, products that didn't exist on the market, products that were vegan in 1975 when nobody had zero consciousness about that. I'll tell you honestly, when I started the business in 2011, I didn't even know the difference between vegetarian or vegan. And this guy knew. This guy knew in 1975. So imagine, we are part of a legacy company, something that's been existing for over 3 decades, going on 4 decades. And his vision was to just create the best products in the world for everybody, monsieur, madame, tout le monde, and thought to himself, you know what, I'm going to let anybody who wants to consume the products because they're going to be the best products on the market. And I'm going to let anybody who consumes the products and wants to become a consultant and share that. And we're going to compensate them. We're going to compensate them in wild ways. We're going to give them awesome compensation, commission, overrides. We're going to give them a beautiful car when they obtain that certain leadership level. We're going to let people who are ordinary come here and live extraordinary lives if they want to be ambassadors of my brand. And that's what he's created. And we're thousands of us on the road now. We call it the road to success with Arbonne, driving those beautiful white Mercedes, living these incredible lives. And we just keep growing year after year. And there's a reason for it, because having a side gig in 2018 is highly desirable. Forbes magazine has mentioned it in their articles this year that a side gig is actually a very important thing to implement in your life today, because there's no more job security. This is the new job security, is creating your own security. And clearly Peter Mork had that in mind when he created Arbonne. What the awesome thing is that we have been existing, yes, for that much time, but this year was a huge year for us. And this is the stamping mark of us going global. We have deep, deep pockets that just purchased us. We are now part of Groupe Rocher. Groupe Rocher being one of the largest European corporations in the world. They've got the deepest pockets. And I just came back from a beautiful trip paid for by Arbonne in Jamaica, where this guy was there, our new CEO. And I can tell you that this new acquisition means big time for anybody who gets involved in Arbonne, because they not only have plans for us for the next couple of years, they have plans for us for the next 2 to 3 decades. They're setting us up in insane ways. So to me, I know for a fact that my daughter's life is all taken care of. All I've got to do is just keep sharing Arbonne, sharing it with other people. She has a legacy company in her hands. I'm going to be passing on a multi-million-dollar business to my children, and so could you. You might not even be thinking about having kids, but just know that what you're doing today is going to impact the rest of your life. And I thank God every single day to have said yes to Arbonne when I was 24 years old, never even thinking and knowing if I wanted to be a mom, not knowing what I wanted to do with my life, just knowing that I wanted to have a big career. And this business gives the opportunity to people to be stay-at-home moms, yes, but also feel so gratified and feel like they have a really boss babe attitude and be able to build this anywhere they like. So I'm so grateful, because not only have we had the success that we've had, but now we're ready for even bigger. And this is the new normal. We set new records last month, and it's going to keep going that way, because this is the new normal. Everyone has the opportunity to build this as big as they like. And the beautiful part about it is that when you say yes to Arbonne, you're buying a piece of that pie. You're deciding whether you want a big piece of that pie or a small piece of that pie, but it's available to everybody who wants it.
So if you're wondering a little bit more about the products, and it's very important. We're a product-driven company. So obviously when you're looking into joining a company like Arbonne, you want to make sure that you're representing the best of the best. And I'll speak for myself, but I'm sure most of you on the call could agree that for me, if I want to stand behind a brand, I need to know that the products are good. I'm never going to put my name behind something I don't believe in. I just cannot sell something that I don't believe in. I've never been in sales in my life. So for me, the fact that our products are literally number one, and in my opinion, there is nothing better out there on the market. Not only did I always believe this for 6 years, but in 2017, Arbonne has now become the number one global brand for healthy living from the inside out. That is huge. And what that means is really that Arbonne is like the only company who has the best in both skincare and nutrition. And that really just encompasses everything that I believe in. I want to live a healthy lifestyle. I know all of you do too. I don't see anyone waking up tomorrow and saying, you know what, I don't feel like being healthy anymore. That's just not going to happen. So we actually we're representing a brand that's number one in healthy living from the inside out. And that to me is priceless. And we're also certified Arbonne Clean. We're vegan certified. We're gluten-free certified. We're BSCG certified, which is very important for athletes. We're cruelty-free. We're kosher. We're everything that you guys want, really. We're free of any harmful ingredients, and that just puts us up against all the competition. And most companies really focus on either one. They'll either focus on skincare, they might focus on nutrition, they might focus on supplements. But the fact that we have everything, which Alex is going to speak about in a minute, is really what sets us apart from the rest. And also the fact that we're number one, even just like, I mean, there's nothing better than this. So Dr. Peter Mork, who actually was the founder of Arbonne, as Alex mentioned, he had a vision. And I find when I heard his vision, for me, that's what made me relate so much to the company. So he had two kind of key components to his vision. The first was he believed that if he could create a product derived from nature that was pure, safe, and beneficial, that was derived from nature but also had benefits and actually worked and results, then that's kind of what was his direction when it came to products. So that's obviously what this slide is about. So we're pure. Arbonne is pure, meaning the purest of ingredients sourced from all globally sourced from around the world, nature derived, so from plant extracts, flower extracts, fruits, vegetables, all of that. We're safe, meaning we do have science, which is important when you're looking at a brand, because you can go and buy a natural brand. Guys, natural would mean that it has to be refrigerated to be preserved. Maybe you could make your own products, all of that, and refrigerate them. But we do need science to have results. I know my grandmother used to wash her face with lemon and water. And yes, that absolutely is natural and that absolutely is very good for you. However, her skin was dried out. There was absolutely no results by using that as her skincare routine, right? So that's what's nice about Arbonne. Yes, we have the purest ingredients, but we also have science. However, it's the safest of science. There is absolutely no harmful ingredients inside. They rigorously test their products to make sure that they're using the purest ingredients and that they actually work. And that's why science is very important. Now, the last part of his little, pure, safe, and beneficial is beneficial, meaning that every single product has to have a direct benefit on the consumer. Arbonne will not put out a product unless it actually does something for you. And the example I always like to give is with the eyeshadows. Most people will buy eyeshadows because they want to color their eyelids. But our eyeshadows actually are filled with peptides and vitamins that actually help towards anti-aging. That's huge. To me, that just shows me that I'm proud to be part of a company that is putting the consumer first, far beyond what we're even thinking of. They're thinking further than that. And actually, to speak about that, just to give you a little bit of an idea, Arbonne used to stand by the European standards of products, which bans about 1,300 or 1,400 ingredients in their products. North America bans about 13 or 14. I always get the number wrong. So Alex, I don't know if you want to correct my numbers, but I know they ban around 13 to 14 in North America, and the European standards.
Canada's 350, US 12, and then European standards is 1,300.
Okay, so US 12, Canada is 350, okay. And then obviously the European standards is 1,300. So Arbonne used to go by the European standards, which was the strictest across the whole globe, which is great. But just this last year, they actually went further than that, and they banned over 2,000 ingredients in all of our products. They actually pulled products off the shelves. If there is no proof that an ingredient is good or bad, they removed it, which to me is just amazing, because even though they're probably not harmful, if there's a slight concern, a slight chance, Arbonne does not take that chance. And so we've actually passed the European standards, which was 1,300, and banned over 2,000 ingredients. So some of those ingredients that you guys may, like everybody's kind of looking for this is, no parabens, no artificial sweeteners, no animal products. Like I mentioned, we're vegan, obviously, no mineral oil, no talc, no formaldehydes, no sulfates, and the list goes on and on and on. So Arbonne does not have any of those toxic ingredients in your products. I don't know if you want to add anything about that, Alex?
No, I think that the basics of it is when people compare from natural to botanical, natural, even if you don't have science in your product, you're actually putting yourself at risk of having a bacteria go in your product too. There's a whole other ball game that comes with that, which makes me very grateful to be part of Arbonne, because Arbonne takes care of all of that for us. It's 99% hypoallergenic, and everything is taken care of. You don't actually need to know much about the product because the product speaks for itself, and there's a 45-day money-back guarantee. So today we're here to talk about the financial opportunity with Arbonne. And when I think about a financial opportunity, I mean, Leah's always dreamt about being an entrepreneur. I remember dreaming of becoming an entrepreneur, but never knowing how it could be accessible. And the beauty about this is that starting an Arbonne business is pretty simple. We don't have to come up with a business plan. We don't have to take care of payroll, human resources, any of that, shipping, etc. All we need to do is decide to say yes to using better products for ourselves and stop shopping at the pharmacy, start shopping in our own online store, and start sharing it with other people. That's the simplicity of our business. And some people, when they start thinking about business plan, they start thinking about, I really want a niche market. I really, really want something that's a niche. Well, really, in reality, a niche is very hard to find. When we think about Arbonne, everybody is already consuming skincare, nutrition, personal care, baby products, and makeup. So it really they cut out all the work for us. So when we talk about social marketing, it's a great way it's just simply a way to distribute a product. I mean, people can go on and talk to you about all kinds of stuff that they heard about network marketing or social marketing. The reality is that every single company in the world finds a way to distribute their product, and Arbonne just decided to do it within the social marketing realm. And the awesome reality behind that is that when people say, well, if your products are so good, why aren't they sold in stores? Well, I'll tell you why. Because the freaking night cream would be $600. You want to know why? Because we put essential oils. We don't put mineral oil. Mineral oil being the bottom of the barrel when you gas up your car. It's $2 a gallon. We put essential oils, the best of the best. And how would you expect a company to go through a wholesaler, a warehouse, a sales force? Halle Berry was paid $64 million in 2015 by a company to say she represents a brand. Okay, so Arbonne doesn't pay any of that. Leah and I just happen to be some Halle Berrys. I like to consider myself that way, that I use awesome products and I share them with other people, and Arbonne basically compensates me because I've influenced more people. That's the only difference. People who earn more income is because they've influenced or persuaded more people, and people who earn less income is because they've decided to not get engaged in sharing more. That's the reality. So don't go through the retailer. When you think about a regular job or a regular business that you would get started, on average, the Bank of Canada right now, the estimate amount that they'll lend to a new entrepreneur is between $40,000 to $60,000 to get started with a project. The person steps away from their full-time job. They get invested in their project full-time. They don't even know if it's really going to work. When you get started in Arbonne, the simplicity is that you don't actually quit your job or quit what you're doing. You're just implementing this in your life, and you're starting to earn some income weekly. You earn weekly commissions to get paid on a credit card or to your bank account, whatever way you want. And then you get monthly overrides on sharing this business with other people. So you get to be your own boss. You get to be a proud online business owner from today if you decide to say yes. And you get to share that with other people. And Arbonne's going to pay you for it. That's really the simplicity. If you want to use Arbonne, people say, well, what happens if I don't do anything? Well, awesome. You're going to be using products. Good for you. That's awesome. Nobody's going to come knock at your door if you didn't do anything. And no one's going to come knock at your door if you do too much. So that's the best of both worlds, right? So you get to leverage off a network if you do decide to do this business in a wild way.
I just want to also mention that a lot of people will ask us, like, how could it be that you guys actually make that money? Like, how is that even possible? And when Alex shows the compensation, you're going to probably wonder the same thing. But just imagine, like what Alex said, all the money that Arbonne would have to spend if we did do pay advertising and all those middlemen. Instead, they're putting that money into rewarding us very generously, but also into research and development. And that's why our product is such a, high quality product, but for that midpoint price. So that's why it's really the best of both. It's giving people opportunity to have a flexible business run on our cell phones, which is amazing. And at the same time, it's giving us we know that we have the best product just because of all the money that Arbonne's saving, as Alex mentioned. So social marketing is the business model of the future. I couldn't agree more, okay? Because especially in our generation, I see it all the time. Anyone from ages 18 to 35 is on their phone more than ever before. And the beauty about this is that we spend this time on our phone anyways. Everyone will say, oh, I'm too busy for this, I'm too busy for that. And yet they'll find a lot of time throughout their day to be on the phone. And today you can actually build a business by doing exactly what you're already doing in your day-to-day life. So now with social media, things have changed dramatically. Now, I could speak for myself, and I'm pretty sure for Alex too. We've both been in the business for around 6 years, maybe a bit longer for Alex, but we both built to our levels without social media. Maybe not Alex and Nation, but I would say till region, we both built it without social media. So it's possible. And I think that's really important because sometimes different generations will be like, I'm really not good with the phone. I'm really not good with social media. Like, how could I do this? Like, I see what you guys are doing. I can't do that. Just know that to get where I was today, I did this without social media. However, social media has become so big for us because it's allowing us to reach a whole new network that if it wasn't for social media, I would have never known these people. So it's allowing me to connect with people from anywhere in the world or anywhere in my country or anywhere in my city that I probably wouldn't have reached before. It's allowing me to increase my brand awareness. And you have to understand, like, if you scroll social media, look at who you're following. Try to, like, if it's people you don't know especially, why are you following them? Is it because they're giving you tips? Is it because they're giving you tricks on leading a healthy lifestyle? Probably yes, or fashion tips, whatever it is. We usually follow people based on like what kind of info they're showing. So now you could turn that into a business because you could just recommend things that you're using. And in this case, it would be Arbonne or, anything really. Like, it doesn't have to only be Arbonne, but at least if someone wants to purchase, they can go buy in your store. So it's allowing us to really increase our brand awareness, to meet new people, connect with people all over the world, and build this business that way. So this is just extra. It's like the cherry on the cake. When I started my Arbonne business, I started with my warm market. But obviously at one point you're not going to keep asking your warm market, but then you have to expand your network. And I truly believe that your network is your net worth. So it's so rewarding to actually be able to meet new people. And that doesn't only help you in Arbonne, that helps you with everything that you're doing in life. And today, just with technology, it's become easier than ever. So this slide is about technology at your fingertips. So before, I used to say all you need to run an Arbonne business is a cell phone and a laptop. Today, all you need is a cell phone. Okay, because now we have apps that have made it so easy to place orders that we didn't have these things before. And I remember when I first started, we used to do everything by hand. And think about it, even before us, people used to have to fax in their orders. So over the past 39 years that Arbonne's been around, it's continuously developing and improving, which is important for us because we know that Arbonne is working to be better every single day for us. I don't have to develop an app. I don't know how to develop an app. I don't have to develop a product. I'm not a scientist. I'm not an esthetician. I can't, give these advice. I could talk about me. I could talk about my real results that I've seen in my skin, in my body, in my business. And that's how I build this Arbonne business. So with technology, now when you start Arbonne, it's $59 to join, to be like, think of it like a franchise. But I always say, you're not going to open up a Tim Hortons with no coffee, right? So the $59, all it includes is your e-commerce website, which would be your full name, .arbonne.ca. So the minute you sign up, people could actually start shopping in your store right away, which is great. We have so many tools. So we have the source, which is, I always call it like the Google of Arbonne. And it's like, you can find anything there, all the ingredients. We're 100% transparent, training for consultants. Everything is on the source. Then we have the Shop Arbonne app, which like I mentioned, it takes 2 minutes to place an order now for our clients. It's so quick, and even our clients could get the app and they could place their own orders within minutes. And then we have the My Office app, which is at the bottom of the screen, which is literally like, I kind of like to say it's like the stock market, because every time I go on, it's like goes up and it's like, woo, it's so exciting. Because, once you have a big team and once you have a big business, like things are happening in your store is always open, even if you're not there. And that's the beauty of time leveraging. So even if I'm here right now, I have people in my team from all around who are doing other things for their business, and I might not physically be there. But when I go in my office, I can see everything going on in my success line. What's next?
Oh, money. Money's next. So we're not going to elaborate too much on this, but I mean, I know we're already at 30 minutes, but I really want to show you guys why I said yes, okay? And when I first took a look at this slide, this is actually US income, because the average time to district manager in Canada is 1 to 5 months. The average time to area manager is 14 months, so 5 to 14 months. Regional vice president level is approximately 36 months, and national vice president is approximately 5 years. So really the basics of it is, if you keep doing what you're doing right now, where do you see yourself in 5 years? Where do you see yourself? Because I know for sure that when I first saw these slides, I didn't personally see myself earning income of $5,000 a month or even $20,000 a month. I didn't see that as accessible to me. And I think that that's highly relatable to our personal growth and our expectation, because our expectation equals our results. And as I grew through this business, I started to realize that I did deserve success, and everyone around me did deserve success. And the only reason I wasn't getting those kind of paychecks is because I saw that they were too big. I saw that it was big. And the minute that you start dreaming more and more, you start realizing that the kind of income that you can make at Arbonne will drastically impact your life if you decide to do it, but it can also impact communities. It can change things for other people because you chose to say yes to this business. So to me, if you're looking for car payment money, awesome. If you're looking for CEO income part-time, awesome. It's not going to happen overnight. There's a lot of legwork to go through, but you know what? You're not in business by yourself. You're in business for yourself, but not by yourself. And you've got a whole community of Arbonne supporting you through this. And all you got to do is say yes. So I'm going to just show you how we get paid on this. Really, by sharing the products the first way, we get paid every single week. So if you're looking for right now money, that's your commissions. You share some product today, you're getting paid on Tuesday on a credit card from Arbonne. Number two, if you decide to share this with other people, sharing the business opportunity, Arbonne is going to compensate you for your leadership. And the more that your leadership grows and the more that you coach yourself while you get led to be successful, the more you're going to know how to be successful and know to coach that to other people. So it's really all about showing yourself that you can do it, and then you can teach other people to do it, and Arbonne's going to compensate you a percentage of sales. That doesn't take away from anyone at all. Arbonne just compensates the person that's coaching because it's taking away from them, taking a flight from California to come here to Montreal to coach the person that actually said yes to Arbonne. You get coached from somebody who actually introduces this video. Number three, Mercedes-Benz cash bonus. So of course, at the regional vice president level and national vice president level, Arbonne VPs get compensated a cash bonus of $960 above their very generous paycheck. So we can take a look real quick. Above $6,000 a month and above an average of $21,000 a month. You get an extra bonus on top of that to select whatever Mercedes you like. You can rent it, you can buy it, you can do whatever you like, but Arbonne's giving you that extra bonus. And you can choose to go get a cash bonus at every single level of management. So there's no more waiting for that maybe 15-cent raise or whatever it could be, or $5,000 raise or bonus at the end of the year from your boss. No one gets to dictate that for you. You get to dictate it for yourself. So that's the best part about Arbonne.
Okay, so a global opportunity. I always like to keep this one really simple and yet super exciting. When I look at this slide, what I always tell everyone that I speak to about Arbonne, which to me is the most powerful thing I could probably imagine, and I remember Loriana mentioned this to me when I joined, the green is where we are today and the blue is where we're going. Okay, so today we're only in 7 countries and yet we're already doing so well as a company. So just imagine where your business could be in the future when it opens up in all the countries that you might know someone who lives in those countries. Or maybe you might know someone who knows someone who lives in those countries. So today we're only in US, we're in Canada, we're in the UK, we're in Australia, we're in Poland, we're in New Zealand, and we're in Taiwan. And if you know anyone in these countries, you can actually have business internationally. And I remember at the beginning, someone always used to say, and I used to find it so funny because I thought they were joking. It's like, you can make money when you sleep. And I was like, wow, that's great. It's funny. But a couple years ago, about 2 years ago, when we opened in Taiwan, I actually looked at my office one day and I saw that there was names in Mandarin. And I obviously couldn't read them. I don't speak Mandarin. And I realized that my team officially expanded into Taiwan. And for me, that was the most life-changing moment because I now understood what they meant. Because when you have a 12-hour time difference, or for example, Australia and Canada, where it's summer right now for them and it's winter for us, you can actually have your business running the same every single season, morning and night when you're sleeping. And to me, that was really powerful. I don't know anyone in Taiwan, nor do I know anyone who's Taiwanese from Montreal. And yet someone in my team knew somebody who knew somebody, and we now have people in Taiwan. And actually we have business in every single country that Arbonne is in right now, which to me is very powerful because I don't know anyone in Poland. I don't know anyone in New Zealand. And yet someone in my team knew someone who knew someone. And that's just how this business grows in amazing ways. And when Arbonne expands to new countries, you don't need to take a flight to go there. Today with Zoom, like what we're doing right now, or with our phone, you can have business all over without actually going there. And I've done calls for people in Australia, and we've just set it up that the times, it works for both of us. And that's just how I choose to build my business. So this gives us so much of a huge opportunity in the future, because I know I'm Italian of origin, and when it opens in Italy, I have family there who've already come to see me, and they already know what I do, and they're ready for when Arbonne grows to that market. They're ready to jump on. So there's so much opportunity in this whole global situation that we could jump on, and we can really have a global business from our phone. And to me, like you guys heard, and now Alex is going to talk about the promotion, $59 to start a global e-commerce business is a joke, especially with the return on investment that you can have and the type of income that you could be earning if you work Arbonne. So Arbonne works when you work it. And it's as simple as that. There is no risk. You're not talking, like there's no boss. Nobody's going to run after you and say you didn't do what you're supposed to do this month. You're your own boss. You decide how much you're worth. You decide how much you want to make, and you decide where you want your business to be in the next year, 5 years, 10 years, 15 years. And when you look at some of the top income earners, some people have been in Arbonne for a very long time. And I see where they are at this point of their life and the type of freedom that they have. And I just told myself, I joined at 20 years old. Even if it takes me 20 years to make a quarter of what they make, that would be so worth it for me, because they are making serious money, living a lifestyle that most people could only dream about. CEO money, working part-time. It's pretty extraordinary. And you don't need to put 40, 50, 60 hours a week into this business. You fit it into your life, however you choose.
So this month, we could talk about it quickly too, because this month it's a promo. And when we talked about Groupe Rocher taking over us, they purchased us. The reason why they purchased us is because they know that the power of social marketing and social influence marketing. And so they're putting up a promo to take away the $59 for the month of November to really raise the entrepreneurs in our success lines and in our community to grow us to be the #1 network marketing company in the world. So $500 a product, let's be real, we're the #1 healthy living inside out company in the world. You need product to do this business. You need a fit kit, at least doing the 30 days to healthy living with us. And you need some skincare and possibly some shampoo and some makeup. So all that together pretty much gives you your promotion booster off. Ooh.
So dream big. So this is our last slide, and I love this slide because this is something that could really put everything into perspective for you. I know it did for me. No matter where you are today in your life, if you are not where you want to be, you need to change something. So the first point is you are where you are today because of the choices you made yesterday. So that is so true. If you see something that you want in life, go for it. This could be it for you. And you need to change something, because a lot of people, when they sit down and really think, if you keep doing what you're doing, where will you be in 5 years? Most people will think about it and they'll be like, wow, not much will have changed. If anything, maybe I'll have more work. Maybe you'll get a raise, but a raise usually comes with a lot more things. So if you want something to change, you have to change something. And instead of asking yourself, what if it doesn't work? Ask yourself, what if it does? And I remember when I was on the verge of deciding, first of all, I said it was love at first sight for me, but when it came down to placing my order and getting my products, guys, I'm the type of person, when I jump into something, I go 2 feet in. I wasn't going to do this halfway. I got way more than that promotion. I wanted to redirect all my spendings. I threw everything away and bought Arbonne. So for me, it was that decision moment where I said, okay, really, pros and cons, what do I have to lose? And I just told myself, first of all, it's risk-free because the only obligation is at $59. The products that you purchase, Arbonne had a 45-day money-back guarantee then. It still does today. But I just told myself, worst case, I hate these products. They could go back. Now, the reason Arbonne has a 45-day money-back guarantee is because this never happens. It never happens. It hasn't happened to me once in my business that I actually had to ship something back. So that's #1. So I knew that if anything, I could send it back. #2, I knew that if anything, that this didn't work, I would have products for myself that I was using anyways. And for me, it became very important that I was going to be using pure, safe, and beneficial products because like I mentioned, my mom was sick and my mom had cancer. And when she was diagnosed, we started learning about the ingredients that were out there. And I didn't want to support these companies anymore that were not supporting our health. So for us, it was no matter what, I wanted these products. So worst case, I now have products for me and my family to use, and one day they will finish. So now that's what you have to tell yourself. Like, there is no loss in giving this everything you could possibly give it. And if that means 10 hours a week for you, that's great. That's what I did to start my business because I was very busy. So I made a little bit of time every day. I worked this business consistently, not constantly. And that really gave me the results that I was looking for in the long run. Just a little bit every single day or a little bit every week, whatever it is. And why not give it a shot? Yes, instead of thinking, what if it doesn't work? What if it does? But you have absolutely nothing to lose and you have everything to gain. And if you want something in your future, go for it. Like, there's no loss in trying. And yet, if you don't try, you're always going to wonder, what if I actually said yes to those, what you might think were crazy. I don't know, whatever it is. But what if I would have said yes? Don't give yourself that opportunity to think that way. Think, what if it actually does work? And what if this could actually be the answer for me and to lead me to the life I've always dreamed of living? So like I said at the beginning, no, you probably did not ever think you would do something like Arbonne because you probably never really sat down and understood what it was. But now that you understand, you could probably see that whatever you see for yourself in your future, Arbonne could be the answer for you and Arbonne could actually lead you there. So I'm going to leave it off to Alex to close the call. But thank you guys all for joining in. It really means a lot to me.
I love everything that you said, Leah. And, when you think about it, it's like a Snickers decision. People overthink this so much. And I think it's very simple saying yes to Arbonne. It's like being at the register, you're getting your groceries, and you're like, am I grabbing that chocolate bar and am I not? Because at the end of the day, you're going to be washing and supporting somebody else. All you're saying yes to is saying yes to you using better products and supporting your paycheck, your future by saying yes to Arbonne. They say, this sounds so tacky, but it's so true. They say, change your brand, change your life. Like, for real, guys, that's all it is. So I hope for you that you get to say yes to this, but let's get the pages clear, okay? The person who invited this call wants to do business with you. They see something for you. And if this is of zero interest of you, go back to that person and say, you know what? I'm a 0 on 10. Never talk to me again about Arbonne. And if this is of interest to you, then just say, yes, I'm a 10 on 10. I'm all in. I'm jumping in with you. And if you have some extra questions to clear up, then clear those questions up. But there's better to be curious in life than to be regretful. So on that note, thanks again for participating. And we look forward to welcoming you if that's the case. Take care.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.